What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another series. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial series or a tutorial of any kind. However, in this one, we're going to be taking a look at how to build a portfolio website with React. And this right here is what we're going to be building. This is actually the same exact design that I have on my current website, garretlove.com. So basically, we're going to be building my website. This was the first thing that I made with React, and I thought it'd be cool if I shared with you guys how exactly I went about building it. So what we'll be doing, and then I'm going to break down each individual component for you in a little bit, is we're going to be building this really nice homepage here, which you can click on one of these. These cards will kind of come up with more information, and we have an about page. I know this doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. That really just depends on how big your screen is because it sizes itself based on the content that it has. And then here we have the contact page, and awesome, this form will work. We'll be using something called SendGrid to actually send emails to wherever we want to. And that's also a free service, by the way. It is a limited service if it's free, if you're not paying for it, but it is free nevertheless. So let's take a look rather quickly. This first video I think is going to be kind of quick. Let's take a look at the actual architecture and breakdown of what's going to be going on here. So this is going to be what everything's going to look like. First, let's go over the stack really quick. I know that's on the right side instead of the left, but excuse me. But we'll be using React, obviously. Next, we will be using React Router to handle all the routing of changing pages. I looked into a number of other routing systems, and this one is the most widely used, and so that's kind of why I went with that. But there were others that I seem to like a lot. The next thing we're going to be doing is React Spring, which is an animation framework with React. Now, we're not going to get too heavily into it. That is actually another tutorial series that I would like to kind of make sometime in the future, but we're going to be using it for some simple stuff within this website. And then the last thing, as I kind of briefly mentioned before, is SendGrid, and that is an email messaging service. So they have a cool API that we can kind of hook into, and we'll be able to send emails to wherever we want to send them to. If you want to put like a contact form, or you don't actually have to use them for just a contact form. They can be used to send automated emails within your project if you're building an app, but that's what I'm using them for. So let's talk about the breakdown and architecture of what this is going to look like. So basically, we're going to have a header or a nav bar, and that will be present on every single page. The next thing is we're going to have a footer, and that will also be present on every single page. By the way, each box here is its own component. So to kind of give you guys an understanding of what's going on, every box is its own component. So we will have a header or a navbar component. We'll have a footer component. We'll have a home page component, right? And within that home page component, we will be using a Jumbotron/hero component. It's really a hero section. I just called it Jumbotron in my oh, no, actually, no, it's not. No, it is. I did make it myself, I think. We'll find out when we get there. But because I'm using Bootstrap for this, which I guess we can add to this stack, because we're using Bootstrap, Bootstrap has a Jumbotron component type thing. And so I can't exactly remember if I made my own Jumbotron component or if I'm using theirs. But either way, that's why I called it the Jumbotron, because they use a Jumbotron. Next, after that on the homepage will be the carousel. That is the container for these things here, these cards. And like I said, we won't be making it. The name is kind of deceiving. The original idea that I had was that I thought I was going to have a lot of different projects that I wanted to show off as like a portfolio section. And so I was going to make a carousel to kind of, slide through them. But then when I was making my site, I didn't actually have enough of those things that I wanted to show off. And so it's called carousel, but there's not enough to actually need for it to rotate through. So I didn't put that part in, but that can be another video some other time, I guess. And then inside of that, we will have this card component that will basically, each card will be, some of our work, one piece of our portfolio that we're trying to show. Now in the about page, we'll have the about page component. We'll then use that same Jumbotron, and then we'll have some text or a body component, whatever we end up deciding to call it. And then inside of the contact page, we'll have a contact page component. No surprise there. We'll use that same Jumbotron/hero component, and then we'll have a contact form component. Now, I don't think that we're going to create a separate component for each input because our form isn't really going to get that crazy. We're only going to have 3 inputs, and they're not really going to be doing that much. We're not doing any validation. We're not doing any sort of like magic or anything like that. We're really just holding them in state. So I don't really think it's necessary to have an individual component for each input. But in a bigger application where you have maybe multiple forms, also keep in mind, I only have 1 form here. So in a bigger application where you have multiple forms, that might be something that you want to consider. I just don't think it's necessary for this project. So that's it for the architecture or the layout kind of how things are going to be planned out. So that's going to be it for this video. If you think that you want to continue on with this series, which I highly recommend, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, definitely subscribe to my channel so you can get the next videos that come out and all videos after this, because we're going to have an awesome videos coming out really soon for React and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.